Democratic senators Friday called on the Pentagon Inspector General to investigate the Navy's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and its firing of a captain for raising concerns about its slow response to the outbreak aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. One of the lead authors of the letter, Senator Richard Blumenthal, said the Navy lacks the ability to test sailors for the coronavirus on many of its ships, particularly those smaller than the Roosevelt, and aircraft carriers with more than 4,800 crew members. How many other Theodore Roosevelts are out there? Blumenthal, a member of the Armed Services Committee from Connecticut, said in an interview with USA Today. There is testing on some of the bigger ships. The smaller ships don't have that capability. They just don't. There are potential hotspots at sea of unknown size and dimension. He speculated that the Navy had no idea how many potential hotspots it has. On Thursday, Acting Navy Secretary Thomas Maudley announced the firing of the Roosevelt's Captain Brett Crozier, who was forced out after he sent a letter Sunday raising concerns about the Navy's response to the COVID-19 outbreak aboard his ship and stating sailors could die without prompt assistance. Crozier had the opportunity to bring the issue to the attention of his superior officers, including one aboard the Roosevelt, but instead sent a letter copied to dozens of people, Maudley said. Medical personnel and assistants were en route when Crozier sent his letter, Maudley said. Crozier's failure to respect the chain of command resulted in a loss of trust and confidence in his ability to lead, Maudley said, explaining at a briefing why he stripped Crozier of command. Admiral Michael Gilday, the chief of naval operations, agreed with the decision to fire Crozier. On Friday, 137 sailors from the Roosevelt had tested positive for COVID-19, according to the Navy. The Navy has quarantined 576 crew members in hotels in Guam after they tested negatively for the disease. Nobody has been hospitalized. Sailors remain aboard the ship to maintain its nuclear reactors and guard its weapons. The first 3 positive cases were found March 24. As of Friday, 41% of the USS Theodore Roosevelt crew were tested for COVID-19, with 137 positive cases so far. There have been 0 hospitalizations. Friday evening, 400 more sailors who tested negative will move into Guam hotels for quarantine, bringing the total housed there to 576. As testing continues, the ship will keep enough sailors on board to sustain essential services and sanitize the ship in port. The 17 Democratic and Independent senators, in their letter to Acting Pentagon Inspector General Glenn Fine, asked him to evaluate whether the Navy has taken the proper steps to protect the safety of sailors aboard ships and submarines. DWRENA Allen, a spokeswoman for the Inspector General, confirmed that the letter was being evaluated by Fine's office. Blumenthal, in the interview, said the senators are also concerned that Crozier was fired because he embarrassed Pentagon leadership by questioning whether enough was being done to protect sailors' health. Discouraging troops from raising concerns about safety and health compounds the problem, he said. That's a recipe for disaster, Blumenthal said. Second Lady Karen Pence taking lead role in suicide prevention initiative during coronavirus outbreak. Second Lady Karen Pence is promoting a suicide prevention initiative recently created by the Trump administration to help veterans but also being used to reach out to all Americans struggling with a coronavirus pandemic. Announcing her new role as lead ambassador for the task force Friday, Pence said that paying attention to emotional well-being is just as important as washing hands, social distancing and other measures to combat COVID-19. This isn't an option. It's a necessity, Pence said. President Donald Trump has said that the devastating economic effects of the health crisis are going to increase depression and the number of suicides. Take a look at what happens in a really horrible recession or worse, Trump said Sunday. So you're going to have tremendous suicides. About 4 in 10 U.S. residents have already lost a job or income due to the crisis, according to a Kaiser Family Foundation poll released Thursday that was conducted March 25 to 30. Nearly half said that worry and stress related to coronavirus is affecting their mental health. The administration last year created a suicide prevention task force run out of the Veterans Affairs Department. Pence had already made assisting military families one of her top initiatives as Second Lady. On Friday, she encouraged Americans to reach out to military families but also to anyone who might be struggling, vulnerable and scared. Pence said her own family is tending to their mental health by regularly connecting by phone or FaceTime, exercising and trying to eat right. For me, art is important to my mental health and well-being, so I'm working on a painting right now, she said. Find out what works for you, whether it's exercise, gardening, prayer, cooking, reading or any other activity that engages you and your family in positive acclivities, and plan these activities into your day. And, Pence added, it's okay to ask for help.